All right, welcome to our Thursday call. It's a full house, you guys. Super excited about tonight's call. So we asked in our challenge group, what are the top topics that you guys wanted to hear about, right? Because every week we're bringing something to add value into your lives, but also because we know what we need in this journey, right? Many of us have been in this journey for 6 years. Others maybe just got started. So the only difference between you guys and us is that we got started a little earlier. And so that's good for you guys because we have tools and tricks to make it much simpler. And that's why we asked you, what is it that you're struggling the most with? What do you want to hear? And one of the top topics, and if you haven't watched, let me just go back. If you haven't watched or joined some of our past calls, they're Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go back to the units in our challenge group. There's a tab that says units. If you go there, you are going to see all the recordings for all the past calls. They've been phenomenal. And a lot of our challengers and coaches join forces and share their stories, and very inspirational. Last week, we had two amazing women share their stories, and the weeks prior to that as well. So just, make sure that you guys connect to those, especially when you're, feeling uninspired, when you're feeling like you're struggling. Go ahead and watch those calls, all right? So one of the top topics that you guys asked for is tonight's call. You guys asked for meal prepping. You guys asked for nutrition tips. You guys asked about, what do I do, Gab, when we go out to eat? Like, I struggle. I don't know what to order, right? Summer is here. What do I do? And so I knew who to ask for this call. And I think that you guys also know who I was going to ask for tonight's call. They're living proof that meal prepping, that meal planning is integral for success in this journey. You guys have heard it before, and you will hear it again, and you will hear it tonight again, that 80% of your results, 80% for you to win is all showing up in the kitchen. And so without further ado, you guys, I'm going to pass it over to the Rosas, who are the best coaches to show you this topic.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many faces.
How's it going, guys?
So I'm Coach Wendy.
Coach Rudy.
AKA the Rosa. So we were asked to speak on our favorite subject, which is nutrition.
Which is eating.
Which is eating. And we've been doing this for the past 6 years. Just to tell you guys a little bit about, how we got started, a little bit about our story. So I'll start first. So I started back with Beachbody in 2014. Prior to that, my health journey started really after I was pregnant with my first child, my daughter Giselle. I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes at 7 months. And if you know anything about that, basically I was on a strict diet, low carb, high protein. It was like Atkins. I had to test my sugars throughout the day. And the scary part about that was that there was no history of diabetes on my family. I wasn't overweight. It's just something that happens to some small percentage of women in pregnancy. So that was scary when the endocrinologist told me that because I had gestational diabetes, number one, other pregnancies, it would occur, number one. And number two, that I would be at a high risk of developing type 2 diabetes at a later age as my daughter. So that was when I was like, okay, I have to make changes, because even though I've never been overweight, I always Rudy makes fun of me, the skinny fat girl, meaning that I could eat whatever I wanted, but I wasn't healthy. So basically I had to make changes in my health. So back then I thought like eating sugar-free and fat-free were healthy. And obviously we all know that that's not healthy. Anything that has artificial sweeteners and stuff like that is not good for you. And I really learned what it was to eat clean, to be healthy, joining a group like what you guys are in right now. And then, doing the fitness programs, the accountability, all that just kind of skyrocketed. And then Rudy, at that time, he really wasn't doing much of anything.
What you talking about?
He's always been fit. I would say when we met, he went to the army, so he was always doing push-ups and stuff like that. But his eating was horrible. Right, babe?
Very bad, very bad. Yeah, no, my story pretty much is just like most guys, or maybe a lot of people in general, that I waited until it came to a health issue to get my journey started. I had applied for life insurance and I was declined. And when it surprised me because I, like Wendy said, I was in wrestling, I was in the military, I was always in shape, but I gained a little weight with her when she had the kids. That husband, wife, you start gaining weight. So I got declined. I didn't know what was going on. Went to another life insurance company, got declined again. They're telling me something with my heart, my blood. I go to my doctor. He's saying my heart is okay, but my blood triglycerides were like 1,500. They're supposed to be around under 200. Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm walking around.
Well, you were also dealing with the heartburn.
Oh, and yeah, when I got there, I had heartburn, acid reflux, and everything from being a little bit overweight and whatnot. Walking around at 200 pounds when I should be walking around at 160 or so. So it's a big difference. And he gave me medication, said, here, take this, come back and see me in 3 months. We'll talk again. And then take this for the acid reflux. And then take this medicine for,
what did I say
because those other two medicines are strong and they're going to get you sick. And this is so you don't get sick and you can hold it down. So my problem was basically, I didn't want to take all those medicines. I looked at them and I said, man, I'm 30 years old. I'm going to be on 3 different medications. And when I looked up the medicine, like we all do on Google or Google and everything, I'm seeing these medicines were like long-term, mm-hmm. low dose long-term. So they wanted me to be on this for a while, make money off of us. And I didn't want to. I made the decision right there with Wendy pushing me, with my daughter telling me why I'm eating potato chips on the couch and not working out with her. And that's where we are right now today. Right. So fast forward to 2020.
Right. And so by him joining the group, because just to go a little further into his thing, he didn't eat any vegetables. His diet consisted of like pizza, cheese, bread, no veggies at all. So he started, and 3 months later after he started, he lost about 35 pounds. That's big to note. He lost, 35 pounds is a lot of weight. And slowly but surely, he started opening up to eating, veggies and making healthy choices. And like Rudy said, here we are now, 6 years later, talking here on the call about nutrition. Who would have thought that, right?
And I did it without the medication, guys.
Oh, right.
I did it by meal prepping and exercising, exactly what we're all doing here together. Thank you, Vicky. I took the medicine and I threw it out. That first week, I took it all. I got home, and I made the conscious decision to get in shape. And it's been a great journey. And I'm thankful because I can run around with my kids mm-hmm. on the beach today. I was running back and forth with them. 6 years ago, I'd have been running 3 steps and I would have stopped, been panting, and mm-hmm. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked at the beach. I didn't like not being able to play with my kids for more than a couple of minutes. And, we decided to make a change altogether. So before we go into meal prepping, we wanted to talk to you about a couple of nutrition basics mm-hmm. and just the mindset that you have to have before you go into this, because it's a commitment. So get your pens and paper ready, or your record on. I'm going to share our screen. Let me just 1 second. Let me know if you can.
Can you see it?
Let me know if you can see it. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. So you're here with us. We're prepping. We're going to talk about a few different things here. But just a reminder, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's about making lasting changes in how you approach food and nutrition for the long term. Right. So it's not about, we're not starving ourselves. We're actually eating a lot of food. You're probably going to be full with the food.
Right.
We work on the portion control versus.
Right. So, depending on, what meal plan or what food base you're in. Some people are doing to be mindset. We follow the ultimate portion fix. I've been doing that for years, and it's like second nature to us. But like Rudy said, this isn't a marathon. It's not, it's basically a journey. This is a lifestyle. So the first thing that we need you to get right is up here. We always talk about that. If you hear our lives, the mindset is super important. So, that's how you got to think about it. It's a lifestyle, it's a journey, and it will be continuous. All right, what's the content layout? We're going to talk about nutrition plan, basic principles, meal prepping tips, eating out, and summer tips. Okay, nutrition basics. So the first thing that you need to know is what are your goals, right? Some people, I would say probably most people want to lose weight, right? There's a few of us that want to maintain, and there are a certain few of us that maybe want to build. So that's the first thing that you need to know. What is your goal? If you want to lose weight, how much weight do you want to lose, right? So that just as a long term to see where you're going to be at. Obviously, you know, we always talk about short term goals reaching to the long term.
Mm-hmm. And then knowing your blockers. What does that mean? That means know what has worked for you in the past to lose weight, what didn't work, you know, so that you can actually use those tips and work on them and build on them. Work with your coach and teammates like we're doing right now, making sure that we're all together in this. If you have someone that on the team that you want to talk to, I know a lot of the girls on the team and the guys might reach out to someone else on you know, instead of reaching out to Gabby or their coach, they might reach out to another partner. We have a 5 a.m. workout group. We have a 6:30 a.m. workout group, and we all get it done. So identifying your meal plan. This is where Wendy does it for both of us.
Right. So if you're doing the portion fix, what plan are you on? A, B, C, right? That's important to know so that you know with the portion fix, you're not counting calories, you're counting containers, you're counting colors. So that's important to know. Where do you fall?
And with the counting calories, guys, even though we're not counting calories, certain foods, if you're doing portion fix, we count them as carbs and whatnot. And we'll talk about that later when we talk about summer and alcohol and everything. Tracking your progress, making sure that you're tracking it, guys. Tracking it in our challenge groups right now. Make sure that you know where you start. Now, the scale is not everything. It's not only about your weight. It's about the fit of your clothes. It's about how you feel, your energy levels. But it is a measurement. So we have to track from point A and making sure that we, along the way, have different milestones that we're looking at.
Get sleep, guys. Get sleep. That's something that I've always struggled with. I don't know why. I know what time I'm supposed to be in bed, but I know that when I sleep right, the results are better. And so that's important. 8 hours of sleep at least. That's what you should aim for. A lot of people say, well, I get 6 or 7, so I'm missing out on 2 hours. So 2 hours plus 2 hours plus 2 hours, but that adds up. So sleep is super important, guys.
If you miss 1 hour of sleep every day in the week, you just missed 1 night of sleep, guys.
Exactly.
So think about it like that. And in our challenge groups, and I know a lot of the coaches here can attest to it, if you are doing the nutrition portion, the workout portion, and not getting rest, you're going to sleep at midnight and waking up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning, it's going to impede on your results as well. So you're not going to see the same results.
Exactly. Water intake, remember, it's half of your body weight in water ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, it's 100 ounces of water a day. Our bodies are composed of like 80% water. A lot of us walk around dehydrated, so water is super important. And then, of course, our Shakeology, guys, that is like it's not a protein shake. I hate when people say that. It is so much more than that. It has phytonutrients, super dense foods. It's something that is like, for me, it's like a daily vitamin. So I've been taking it. I've been drinking Shakeology for the past 6 years, and it's an everyday thing. You have to take it, right? So all those are the basics.
And when we say the basics, that means that these are the non-negotiables, guys.
Right.
Many of these right here, the shake, the water intake, the rest, tracking your progress, following your meal plan. If you're not following it, if we give you all these tips and show you how to eat and figure out the portion that you have to do, and then you go ahead and say, I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat these 3 snacks, and then I didn't eat my lunch, and I just had a big dinner or a big breakfast, then it's not following the plan that we're putting in place. So make sure you stick to it as closely as possible. Right. We're not saying that you can't divert. There's always room. That's why we live by the 85-15 lifestyle. But we'll go more into that right now. And this is basically just, I just put some quotes in between the slides just so you guys see where we're at. Right. So being prepared isn't half the battle, it is the battle. So if you're prepared, then you're gonna get it done. All right, so we're gonna go into meal prepping, but before we can meal prep, we have to go shopping, right? So basics of food shopping. Plan for the week.
Plan for the week. I always tell my challengers, pick a day during the week. For Rudy and I, it's usually like a Thursday or Friday. It's no specific day or time, but think about what it is that you want to eat for the following week, right? And the beauty about this program is that if you have the Beachbody on Demand, there's tons of resources in there, tons of recipes in there. I mean, there's no reason why you can't say, okay, this is what I want to eat for next week. What do I need to do? You make a list, you plan for the week, right? Goes on with the second thing, make a list, don't stray. Figure out veggies, your proteins, your healthy carbs, all that good stuff.
And make sure you don't stray, because when I go food shopping,
I stray.
It'll be like $80 or $120, and when I go with Wendy, it's like $220. So stick to your lists, and you save money.
Okay. Circle the store. So what do we mean by that? So stay on the outskirts of the supermarket, right? What happens in the inside?
It's a
those
big one.
aisles. It's a big one. That's a big one. What happens when you enter those middle aisles? That's where all the processed foods are, right? Those all the the cookies and the sugary stuff. If you outdo the outskirt of the supermarket, you see that's where you have the fruits and the veggies. So we always say that's where you should be really shopping. Mm-hmm. I know I've told my challengers, Fujicate is a really good app that it helps, especially if you're starting new. Basically, it's an app that grades food from A to D, I think it is. A being really good, D being not good at all. And what I love about that application that you could upload on your phone is that it tells you the nutrition facts, the ingredients, and alternatives. So because something says that it's healthy, that doesn't always mean that it's healthy, right? So it might say like, highly processed, or, it has this artificial sweetener. So we use that a lot. Sometimes you're not sure, if I want to buy this, is this good? Fujicate that.
And that little orange on the screen, guys, that guy, that's the picture of the app right there, just so you know if you're looking for it.
And Rudy always says, the best thing that you can do before you go food shopping, eat a snack. We tend to do like the beach bar, right? And it's healthy, because what happens is that when you're food shopping, it's very easy to say, oh, let me see this candy bar over here. I'm hungry. Let me eat something. So, stay on track with that.
All right. So you can't achieve something new by staying where you are. Get up, dress up, and show up for your goals.
That's it.
And for those of you who work out with us, that's all them calories right there. All right. So.
Okay. Meal prepping.
Meal prepping, guys.
Go.
So basically, daily, weekly, your choice. So what I mean by that, some people like to prep daily. We prep a different kind of prep. We prep for the week, but we prep daily. So. And this is something that maybe if you want to try it, when you take the meal and you prep it over into 5-6 containers for the week, and it's the same food over and over, sometimes that's not fun. With different variations, it makes it more interesting. So what we do is we'll take and cook a whole thing of sweet potato, a whole thing of chicken, a whole thing of vegetables, and put them in different containers, right? And then every day we'll take, and one day I might want to have chicken with rice and broccoli, or I might have potatoes with steak and something else. You get to really prep every day, but you have it there in your fridge, and it's easy to grab because, as you can see right there, organizing your fridge. What we do is we organize our fridge. I know maybe it's just me, but I'm a little bit OCD on that I'll take my almond milk on the top row, anything that I prepped on the top row, and then on the second row I'll put my eggs and all my containers that I'm prepping. And Gabby,
God forbid I put something where it's not supposed to.
I see Gabby shaking her head.
Don't put this here.
But and then on the third row I have my veggies. As crazy as it sounds, it might take you a half hour, 40 minutes to do that the first time, or not even. But once you set up your fridge, when you go to prep, you come home and you grab it. Like I'll come home, get here, prep real quick, and then it's done within 15 minutes.
Right.
Prepping can take a while. For those of you who have done it, I mean, I know a lot of you have done it. One of our challengers on there, Yesenia, she was prepping, and she tells me it takes her a while to do her whole prep. She does a big one for the whole week. Mm-hmm. That could be tedious. So little things like organizing your fridge can help. Also, steaming your food. You can there's different ways to steam it, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because a lot of challengers will steam it on their stove. but you can just get a microwavable steamer at Amazon or anywhere, and then that'll help you out. Try different recipes, and Wendy's good with that. She has all the different recipes from Fixate.
Yes. Guys, if you don't know already, there's a cooking show in Beachbody on Demand where there are tons. Well, she does videos, right, that shows you how to make things, and there's also a recipe list. In addition to that, this is amazing. I have both. This is a Fixate. If you guys haven't seen it, is a book from Autumn Calabrese, 21 Day Fix, with tons of recipes. She also came out with volume 2. So we show this because there's no reason why a lot of people always tell me, well, I don't really know what to cook, or I'm not I don't cook that way. Listen, I was never a cooker like that. Growing up, my mother would always be like, let me do it, let me show you, but let me do it. So it wasn't until I started being a challenger that I really got myself to learn how to cook. And these recipes are easy to follow. So for my Latino community out there, Mes de Mas has a bunch of recipes that are like Latin dishes. So I know that they have like arroz con pollo. She has sancocho, healthier version. So it's out there. So you could still have your foods, just healthier versions. Okay, guys? Let me see what else.
Frozen fruits and veggies, guys. I wanted to mention that because you can get the frozen fruits, veggies for your shakes. They're flash frozen. Sometimes they're even easier to find, and you can store them for longer so you don't run out, especially during the summer. And also organics. I know sometimes we don't always want to spend that extra money on organic food, but you can go to the supermarket. A lot of farms don't label their products organic because they don't want to pay for the verbiage organic on their packaging. It's expensive to do that. So a lot of farms will sell products to supermarkets and it actually is organic, but you got to look at the SKU. It ends in a 9. There's actually a few numbers that it ends in, and I'll actually send that out. I'll go into the one of our packages and I'll send it out later on.
Right. But the farmer's market, that's where you should be getting most of your fruits and veggies because you can get it at a better price. And I always say Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. They have so many, Rudy's like, Trader Joe's. But it's true. You can find so many things there and it's less than if you were to go to like a Stop and Shop or something like that. Okay, and include your kids. From mommies out there, daddies out there, include your kids. We have Giselle and Manolo, mostly Giselle because Manolo kind of makes everything messy, but he will help. They enjoy it and they see you doing it, they're gonna follow. So I know that I had some challengers asking me regarding like how do you incorporate this stuff with your children. No, I don't portion control with my children. They're kids, they'll burn it quicker than we do, but I do make sure that they have veggies daily, fruits daily. They can have cookies and ice cream as well, but that's limited.
And a lot of times when you prep with your kids, it's better because I know a lot of families will say, well, I got to cook twice. I got to prep twice because they won't eat what I'm eating. But if you have your kids prep with you, then they're going to select what they want. And then it's easier for you to just work that into your meal. We also try prepping the night before. So we take our time, a few minutes at night saves you a lot of minutes in the morning. I mean, who has more time at night than in the morning? Right. I think all of us do, a majority of us. In the morning, we want to rush out of the house really quickly. You get up, sometimes you might get up late. Jorge gets up late all the time, but you have, the night before, we set up our shake. We put it in the blender, put it in the fridge. And we set up our coffee. We set up our Energized cups for our workout. And wait,
I just want to be clear. Don't put Shakeology the night before. No.
Oh, right.
We put everything in the blender except the Shakeology because they should be consumed within 30 minutes, just to be clear.
So, and something about the shake, when you're making your shake, guys, there's so many different variations. So when you're meal prepping, the shake can be your snack. It can be a meal. You can put a veggie into that shake to help you to get your veggie intake in. I know that's a problem with a lot of people. It was a problem for me. I could not get all my vegetables in.
You, right?
So that actually helped me. We put a handful of spinach for me, one for her, a banana in there. We put almond milk, and even though the shake, you could put 8 ounces of almond milk, what Wendy started doing, which was pretty smart, is she would put, instead of putting 24 ounces of almond milk, she would put 8 ounces and then the rest of it 12 ounces in water, so that we're saving our oils right there, our teaspoons, because you have like 4 teaspoons every day. So think about different ways. depending on your plan, 3 to 4. So depending on your plan, those teaspoons that you're counting every day, it's easier to say, okay, I put 1 in my shake instead of 3 or 4 in my shake. Now you have nothing left for salads later on, or if you want to have coffee with almond milk later on, you don't. So you're saving it rather than packing on extra calories.
Right. And to summarize the meal prep, just to kind of give you the last 4 big things: grill, steam, bake all of your protein. That could be your chicken, your beef. Fish should be no more than 2-3 days prior to eating. One thing that we do as well is hard-boiled eggs. Boil the eggs, a dozen of them, easy to go, on the go. Wash your produce and bag it. Makes it easy. Like Rudy said, he's very OCD with the fridge, but you know what? The veggies are there. You just pick and go. And you could make a big jar of dressing, right? So that way, when you want to make a salad, you can go right on the go. Okay,
So, and guys, never beat yourself up. I'm sorry. If you happen to have a misstep and you go out somewhere and you're eating with friends, family, and you just fall off the boat, look, it's 4th of July this weekend. We're all going to go out there. Happens to Jorge and Gabby every weekend. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it. All right, you know what? I had too much of this or that, and then move on. Right. That's one big mistake that a lot of challengers that we see, they'll give up as soon as they have a bad meal and they say, I'm starting my program over. Don't do that. Keep going with your program, and at the end of it, you want to start it over? Do another round. Right. But from beginning to end, that's the goal. All right, so your survival guide, what everybody wants to know: eating out, planning ahead. So when you go out to eat, do you just accept what they give you on the menu? Do you just say, oh yeah, I'll take this regular pasta?
Well, the first thing that I want to say is, if you already know that you're going out,
I jumped the gun.
You jumped the gun. The first thing that you should do, this is what we do. Where are we going? What kind of food do they make? Let me go online and check the menu. Let me see what are healthier options for me. That's super important, because you're not going to go to the restaurant and not know and say, oh man, dang, everything here is really bad, right? So that's the first thing. If you do know ahead of time, look to see and figure it out, right? And try to make healthy choices. Go ahead.
And then once you check all that out and you decide on a place, when you get there, ask for substitutes. Ask for whole wheat pasta. If you're going somewhere they're making tacos, do they have whole wheat or flour tacos, whole wheat, different styles, whole grain, excuse me. If 9 out of 10 times, if it's not on the menu and you ask, they're gonna have something usually. Most places that I've gone always say, oh yeah, we have that. And even if it's an extra $1 or something, that's an investment in your health right there, guys.
Exactly. Don't clean the plate, right? When we go to restaurants, most restaurants serve you a lot of food. Rudy and I, no shame in our game, we dog eat, bag it to go, and that could be lunch for tomorrow. So don't look at it like that, because a lot of times the size of the plate is too much. It's probably like 3 portions in there of food. So
yeah, and guys, that food that you're eating, it might be so delicious. You're like, oh man, this is great, because most fast food or most restaurants that you're going to, it's all salt and sugar in their food. It's added. Why do you think you're drinking so much? Because the
MSG.
MSG, yeah. So that's why it's different than when you're at home. Right. But that food that you're having has to be in moderation. So when you do go out, part of eating out survival guide is don't eat out all the time. You're spending a lot of money. Leave it as a treat. Right. Like if you're gonna go out, let's say once a week. If you're going out more than once a week eating out 2-3 times, you're spending a lot of money, right? And then and listen, I'll tell you right now, I have coworkers, friends. I go to work in the morning, they're eating out. They go to the deli somewhere, order some food, get it Ubered over or whatever. Lunch, they're eating out. And I'm pretty sure if they did breakfast and lunch, when they get home for dinner, they're probably eating out as well. But 2 out of 3 meals, think about it. 2 out of 3 meals.
And listen, you don't know, even if it's a healthy option, the truth of the matter is that you don't know how they're making it. Mm-hmm. So when you make your own food, you know what you're putting in it. So, but anyway, survival guide, dressings on the side. If you're going to have a salad, ask for the dressing on the side. If you're going to have any other kind of food that requires some kind of mixture, ask for it on the side.
Chinese food, for instance.
Chinese food. So number one, steer away from Chinese food.
But if
it's
you
just
want to
not a
have
healthy, but if you're going to have it, you know, there's always healthy. I would say most Chinese restaurants have a healthy options.
diet menu.
You know, don't take the white rice, do the brown rice. You know, you could do, I know Rudy and I will do like chicken and broccoli and put like black bean sauce on the side, even though that does have a lot of sodium. It's a better option than like the regular brown sauce that they use or the garlic sauce. Okay.
For a second there, it's always about the better options, guys, because every small little increment that you save during the day adds up to big results at the end of the week.
Right.
If you save a little bit, and years ago, I tried doing Weight Watchers. I did it because my sister-in-law was doing it, and I did it for 2 weeks just to see what she was doing. And what I noticed is that every little thing that you put on your plate, when you get a burger, that scoop of ketchup, mustard, that cheese slice, that tomato slice, that bun, every single piece of it brings on so many different sections of calories that it was mind-blowing for me, just to see how many calories can be in one thing, and then how you can cut so many calories out by changing the bun out,
right,
taking the cheese off, or using a different kind of cheese, you know, a cheddar or mozzarella. So these things are going to help you out, those little changes, to get the results so that you can lose those extra pounds or get that pudge around the waist off and just stay on track.
And of course, skip the soda and sugary mixed drinks.
That's the basics. Skip the soda.
Water.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Let's talk alcohol. So listen, Rudy and I.
That's my favorite topic.
Hey, Ramoncito, hey. So look, Rudy and I live by the 85-15 lifestyle, meaning that 85% of the time we eat clean, good, healthy food, and 15% of the time we indulge as we please. I call it food for the soul. Those are like, you know, alcoholic beverages, or it could be that slice of cake that you want. Why? Because we're human, right? And this is a lifestyle. So although I will say that once we commit to a program, and if we say, okay, we're going to commit 100% to the nutrition, we do it, right? But the idea is that our lifestyle is in 85-15. So you guys will see us on, like, you know, posting like having our wine, or my new favorite is the spiked seltzers, which, you know, I feel like has low calories and stuff. Anyway, hold on. Ginger, say hi. Hi, Ginger.
So guys, the 85-15 lifestyle. So some tips you can do when you're going out is eat first, because by the time that most people go out, and I'm saying going out because that's usually where we struggle most. I mean, right now with the quarantine, you might be drinking in. They say a lot of people are going to end up alcoholics by the end of it. So hopefully it's no one here. But if you're going out somewhere, now that things are opening up, to a happy hour, order a platter of something that's healthy, like a veggie platter, some hummus, some pitas, you know, great option. It has fiber, it has protein. It's not going to lead you to consume tons of fried food, like French fries and onion rings and things of that stuff, which I used to love, bittersweet. And if you're still hungry after the appetizer, order a regular meal.
Right.
Order a meal before you go in to start digging, because you're likely to be more satisfied and end up consuming more calories if you're eating a meal versus snacking on a ton of things around you. Because if you keep snacking, I went out to some restaurant and I snacked on a platter, and I said, oh, let me get another snack platter. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get something to eat.
Right.
You know, and rest up. If you know you're going to go out, don't drink and do a lot of strenuous activity or working out the night before, because the night of poor sleep causes you the next day to want to look for quick energy.
Mm-hmm.
Quick energy means that you're going to be looking for carbs.
Right.
Carbs are quick energy. And I see Gabby like, yeah, I'm going to go get some carbs right now. But alcohol can lower your blood sugar levels. And, you know, if you're hitting the bottle on an empty stomach after a tough workout, you're only going to deplete those levels further.
Right.
You know? Location dehydration. What do we mean by that? Pay attention to your environment, where you're at. Because when you're going out to different places, beer gardens, outdoor drinking, there's an increased likelihood that you're going to be dehydrated, right? Because you're going to do nothing but drink. You're at a bar, you're going to drink. You're at home, sitting around with your family at a barbecue, you're going to drink.
Right.
Pace yourself.
With water.
With water.
In between.
And Wendy can attest to this. We went on vacay. You know, you go to an all-inclusive resort with, and you're there drinking. You're not drinking water. You're drinking.
Right.
You know, for the part of it that you can remember.
Right.
And
make the clear choice though, right? So for example, when we were in Jamaica, we opted for vodka with seltzer water, a splash of maybe pineapple juice, and kept it that way. The likelihood of the clear drinks have less calories versus a darker one.
And you're gonna avoid a hangover. You're less likely if you drink clear liquids and whatnot. And then
Right.
you can go to hydrate, the performance line, if you do have to drink. But yeah, if you're not gonna drink clear liquids,
Wine.
and plus we don't count carbs, excuse me, calories, but clear liquids have less calories in them. You know, even though straight alcohol doesn't have carbs, in our plan, you're looking at the calorie content. Let's say 100 calories for some shot of vodka with pineapple or something like that, versus then if you're not going to have a clear liquid, then go to wine, because then you need like 120 calories or so. And then once you start going to regular beer and whatnot, it starts raising up. Or
But it's still all yellow.
still,
alcohol is all yellow, guys.
and
So let's be clear about that.
And what do you do to our challengers after they pass a certain amount of levels? You allow them treats.
Right. So again, we're talking about when you're starting a program brand new. I always tell my challengers, no treats, none of those things.
Stick to the program.
Even the healthy treats, because you really want to get your body used to eating healthy. But once you reached a certain goal, maybe your first 5 pounds, your 10 pounds, we talk about where you're at, and we can say, yeah, you can have here a treat here or there where you replace a yellow from that. What else? So
there's something I had read before, and I pulled it up again just to show you. But because people would always say, does alcohol make you gain weight? Alcohol, I'm just going to read this verbatim. It's a source of empty calories in the diet. It adds to your daily calorie intake, but it doesn't provide any real nutrition, guys. People will argue that small amounts of alcohol can have health benefits, like heart health, but research does not show that alcohol benefits weight loss or anything of that sort. So it might help your heart, but you're helping your heart and you're gaining weight. Is gaining weight good for your heart?
Right.
So technically, it's like a stalemate. Alcohol also disrupts your metabolism. So it's a toxin. So your body prioritizes digesting alcohol before anything else, including metabolizing the food that you just ate. So your body is gonna shut down everything else for 1 hour. On average, one drink will pause your metabolism for an hour. And after quite a few drinks, you're going to start slowing your progress by disrupting the ability to burn fat efficiently, and increase fat storage. And it messes with your appetite. So again,
moderation, guys.
Moderation, because alcohol, drinking in excess can cause your blood sugar to drop, which I said before, which may make you feel hungry or crave unhealthy food. Even if you're eating plenty of calories in the day, plus drinking lowers your inhibitions, which makes you care less, right? So you're just going to grab it. You're going to say, I don't care. You're going to be a few drinks in and just grab whatever is around you. So you really have to drink in moderation, pace yourself, get water in, because you need your water intake anyway, because water will help you from feeling hungry. Sometimes you think you're hungry and it's actually you're dehydrated. So that's our alcohol talk right there. Let's move it on. And I think this is a good one. You are your biggest obstacle, and you also are your biggest inspiration, guys. Results are achievable if you're not afraid to do the work.
And here's my shirt. But what does it say here? Read it, Rudy.
It says, "Don't wish for it, work for it."
Guys, all this, and I tell you guys straight from the beginning, from the moment that somebody asks me that they're interested in joining my challenge group, the first thing that I say is, this is not a quick, easy fix. If you're looking to come in here and lose 20 pounds in 3 days, this is not the program for you. This is working hard, okay? Even my own results, and I said I was a skinny fat girl. One of my goals has been to be strong, and that didn't happen overnight. That's taken 6 years, guys, to get stronger. And I'm still pushing for stronger because that's my goal, right? But, you are, and I love that quote, you are your biggest obstacle. You're also your biggest inspiration, because guess what? When you push yourself to do hard things, you accomplish it and you say, oh, damn, you know what? I can do this. So I'm going to push harder to achieve another goal. And this is not just for health and fitness. This is in life, right? When you push yourself to do something hard, because you know what? Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing worth having comes easy. So anyway, I love that quote.
Guys, so tips and reminders. We talked about in your shake, what you can do. We talked about a little bit about the performance line. If you are not sure what the performance sign is, reach out to your coach. But it's basically supplements that you can take: protein, pre-workout, hydration, electrolytes, protein for after, protein for at night, muscle recovery. So it has everything, and it's good. And that's helped us to get our results as well. Sometimes I'm a little hungry, and right after a workout, especially when you're lifting weights, you might have days that you're extra hungry. So drink that shake of protein right after. It's clean. It doesn't mess with any of your containers, and then you can still eat your containers. And you didn't lose anything, and you didn't gain any extra calories. And eating the right foods. We talked about it before. Foods that are filled with fiber, so you get filled.
Right.
You don't want to have yourself eating junk food. If you know, like anything else, you start eating potato chips or anything else that's empty calories, you're not going to get filled up with it. Eating too much and too little.
Right.
Your meal plan. When we were
Stick
saying
to your meal plan, basically, and also remember that, once you reach a certain, like say you started on a certain plan and you lost weight, you have to recalculate that to see where you're going to fall. And if you've reached your goal, then you're going to stay on maintenance. Something
that Wendy, you might see food list top down. It's a very important piece of it. Even though we have the different categories of foods, your fruits, your vegetables, your carbs, everything that you can have. Any of you that are in the program that look at the book, it has a list of a ton of things, and I think automated a whole bunch of new things. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the best things. And Wendy enlightened me to this. I wasn't aware myself, but she told me, so I'm gonna let her tell.
Right. So especially in the carb section, try to stick most times to 2/3 top of it. Because there's just healthier choices, such as like sweet potato or quinoa, versus like if you go down the list, you'll see like pancakes or waffles. Not that you can't have them, but obviously we know that a sweet potato versus a waffle, there's a big difference.
So basically, in those lists, in the books that you have or online, the top 1/3 of that list is the healthiest items of that category. The second third, the third third, those, it keeps going down in order. So try and stick to the top, just like we say, stick to the outside of the store, stick to the top. And summer tips. So like today, going to the beach, barbecuing, whatever it may be. Make sure that you are prepping for success when you go out, guys. We prep. When I'm barbecuing in the backyard, which I like to do often, one way to make it easy to meal prep, when people always say, oh, how do you get it done? I'm barbecuing, and I know that I ask everybody what they want, put it all on the grill, and then I put an extra plate for Wendy and me, cook it up. When we're done, we're cleaning up, we just toss it all in our containers, and that's it. It takes an extra 5 minutes, and it doesn't take any of the time on the grill.
Right.
So use your time wisely. Prep everything while you're going. I prep asparagus on the grill, broccoli, my chicken, everything.
But even if you're going to somebody else's barbecue, and this is a question that I get asked all the time, listen, when you go to a barbecue, you usually bring something, right? I always choose to bring something healthy because I may be going to a barbecue and I don't know what they're cooking over there, right? That's even happened with my own family. My own family, where I'm like, y'all know how to eat right, and they had all this bad stuff, and that was the first and last time. I bring salads. I'll bring my chicken burgers. I have no shame in my game. They want to cook it up. They want to ask me. Not that I won't eat the beef burger, but I prefer the chicken burger, to be honest with you. And I will say, yeah, I brought this stuff. And when it's time for cook, can you throw that in the grill for me? No shame in the game. Why? Because if I'm, looking to stay healthy, I mentioned this is a journey. This is a lifestyle. I'll bring it. I've gone to places where I'll bring my own sandwich because I don't know what's going on in there, right? I don't know what's going to be served. So you have to, again, mindset. At this point, being healthy is so good for you, right? So why be ashamed or why allow yourself to get off track because of what others are going to think of you? Listen, I've been there, done that at my job. People will look at me all the time. Oh, you bring your food and you're eating. And I'd be like, yeah, you want to join me? Because at the end of the day, I shouldn't be embarrassed to eat healthy. You should be embarrassed to be eating bad.
Boom. I have to add to that, guys, that don't worry about what anyone thinks. Anne-Marie is on this call. We work together, and she knows I brought my containers every day to work. She knows that there would always be snacks. Clients will bring you snacks back daily, every day, because there's so many different clients that you have. They don't know who brought you what, and there's always something else to pick on. It's your choice, guys. It's your option to pick on it. So Be strong. If you want to have a taste of something every now and then,
Okay,
it's okay. It's a treat. We're not. That's why it's 85-15. We meal prep every single day from Sunday till Saturday. Every day we're prepping. We don't on the weekends. We don't prep our meals the night before. During the day, we know we already have it in the fridge. But that also means the Shakeology, and this is something we didn't mention. On the weekends, it's a 7-day shake, guys. It's not. I'm taking it Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I'm gonna not take it. No, that's a meal replacement. That's a snack. That's to be taken because way too many times. That's what's gonna keep you regular, your system, so you can be regular, right? That's gonna give you energy, right? And that's gonna give you all the veggies and nutrients that you need. 70 super foods. So make sure you get it in every day because the days that you miss it, you're only selling yourself short. Right. So I forgot where I was at.
Eat your water, meaning, you know, I know you like to say this, the veggies, right?
Eat your water, guys. You don't have to. A lot of people say, I can't drink half my body weight in ounces every day. Okay, well then you can, but if you feel you can't, eat it. There's water in spinach. There's water in cucumbers. There's water in fruits. There's water in a lot of things. You can eat your water throughout the day within your snacks. So that's how you get your water intake, but it's so important, especially in the summertime. You get dehydrated. A lot of times you feel like you're hungry, and again, I'm gonna say it, it's dehydration. Grab a cup of water and chug it. That's actually part of the
you should drink that. I try to drink a cup of water every time before I eat.
That's part of Ileana's food plan. The not the one that we're doing with the containers. That's part of To Be Mindset. Whenever you are hungry or something in the day, she says, drink water and then eat veggies and then see if it goes away. If it doesn't, then eat. And that'll help you out. We already talked about condiments and we already talked about the marinade, better options. So that's our summer tips, guys. Barbecue, do healthy options while you're barbecuing at your house. Don't worry about what anyone else is thinking about you. At work, if your coworkers come at you and say, "Oh, what are you eating?" "Oh, Mr. Healthy," be like, "All right, Miss Unhealthy," start snapping on them, whatever. Get out of here. That is gonna leave us with our last quote of the day. Honor your goals. You set them for a reason, guys. And when you feel yourself craving the unhealthy choice, remember why and how you got here and recommit to your goals. That's why we all made a why at the beginning of the day. At the beginning of our journey, we made a why. When you feel like you're going to fall off, remember that. Remember that because your mindset is going to help you stay on this journey. And, I'm proud of everybody that's here on this call because you know what? You're taking a step forward in your journey to say, hey, I want to eat better. Just being here. And if you change one thing that you take away on this call and you make it work for you in your daily lifestyle, then hey, it was all worth it. It was all worth all of our time tonight. So questions, comments? I was going to put a picture of Jorge when he had hair, but I was too lazy. We came back from the beach. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And
that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. I have something to share very quickly while I'm sure everyone has hang on one second because I don't know what I'm doing with Jorge's computer. Can you guys see me?
Messages on chat.